Okay, hello, welcome again. I'm Dr. Velazquez, and today's conversation we scheduled it to be mainly about the 2 weeks of retreats that Michelle and I are putting together for August. Retreats in or retreat in Colorado, uh, the Colorado Mountains, Florissant, the USA, United States of America. So mainly about that, but since everything is related, we can talk about anything around that pertinent, like educational programs, experiential education, science and shamanism, the plants, the substances that I work with that may be present in the retreat. We can talk about expenses and costs because we do have some social activism that we do. So we want to make sure we include everyone. We don't leave anyone out. So anything that you really want to ask, especially about the August retreat, arts, psychedelics, and health, but anything else related to that.
Oh, I thought this would end up being more of like so just clarifying, this is more of talking about your retreat as opposed to a general like support group for people with FND.
Said everything is related, so we can do a little bit of support if that's what you need today and right now, or if you would like to know more about how our programs are supportive. Is that what you're interested about, Brent? Do you want to tell us a little bit more about it?
Oh yeah. So let's see. I I've been dealing with FND symptoms for about a decade now. Um, got diagnosed about maybe 5 years ago. Um, went through a lot of different things. There was this program called ReActive in Southern California that I checked out, but I ultimately I had to pay out of pocket, and I'm not sure. Yeah, well, I appreciate if anything works for you. I don't really have any particular interest in dealing with experimenting with different substances really. Uh Even if I have no problems with those who feel like that's a good option. Um yeah, I was just, I got the email and it's like, hey, if this pertains to me at all, might be worth coming at least.
Mhm. That's interesting. Okay, because we're in a group, Brent, we always like to participate together. I thank you very much for sharing a little bit about yourself and to posing some questions for us. And I'm gonna open to the other participants for them to also one by one introduce themselves. And if anyone has anything to say to you about uh, um, having FND, the various options, the psychedelic natural substances, or the retreat that is happening in August. I'm going to open the floor for anyone to comment from now on, and then we'll continue talking, okay? So hang in there. Let's see what else.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much.
I'll
Okay,
temporarily mute myself.
that sounds good. Thank you, Brent. Okay, anyone would like to introduce yourselves, say a little bit something around the questions that Brent brought up and then your experience, anything that you want to say, you know, we're a family here. We most of us know one another already. Go ahead.
I'll go. Well, started earlier. Hi, my name's Tanya. I was diagnosed with FND about a decade ago as well. I'm in Australia. It's so interesting because, Brent, you remind me of the very first time I met Michelle through experimental education. This woman rocks up like a completely different woman right now, but there's so much of what you were saying that resonates, and I'm like feeling it like within, like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna pause because this is making me emotional. I know where you are, Brent. I'm sorry you're there. But there is hope that works, and there is hope there. Yeah. Okay, that's me done. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Tanya. Thank you so much for being so real, so honest. Yeah, Brenda, Tanya is doing something that not everyone has the courage to do, even doctors. Tanya is sharing emotions. And that's something that we doctors have to do more. Even psychologists, sometimes they brush us off and kind of rush the emotion and don't want to stay with it. But it's like, oh man, it's hard. We know where you are. Like, oh my God, I had functional symptoms myself and it's scary. But you have arrived to a place where we try to learn and study and hang out and make it fun and learn to get out of that place together. It's bumpy, but we can get out of that place. It takes time. My programs have been going on for a few years, but we can get little by little, trying various things and hang tight. We can get there. Thank you so much, Tanya. Anyone else?
I will introduce myself. I'm Michelle, and I'm in Rhode Island in the US. And I was diagnosed with FND in March of 2022, and then I found Yadira's class in January of 23. And so I've been working with her ever since then and gone through all of the experiential education. And so when she got the land in Colorado and invited us to go there, I was really excited about that. And I have been there. I went for a week in June and got to meet people in person that I've been talking to online for such a long time, and Yadira among them, of course. And it was just so wonderful to be there and to feel so good in my body while I was there. And I just feel like the work with Yadira is so different than anything else that's out there because, like you, Brett, I didn't find support. I didn't find doctors who understood or were helpful at all. And so, you know, your life changes so dramatically, so quickly, and you just don't know where to turn. And so I'm really glad I found my way here. And I'm excited to go back to the land and to just explore and experiment and like try different kinds of art and just be with people and be creative. I feel like that's so important to find a creative outlet and to express yourself. So that's where I'm coming from.
Can I add a little bit? Just I have found some people that have been useful later in more within the last 2 years, but yeah. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's
just wanted to
great.
clarify that.
Yes, and it's so important, right, Brent? It's like we want to make sure, because this is going to go on YouTube, we want to make sure we encourage patients to speak up and say, like, hey, like, I have this disease, help me figure it out. Like, let's do research together. Like, what do you guys could help me? Like, let's hang out, right? Let's do art together. Let's go for a walk. So for patients to speak up. and don't lose connection, but keep trying, keep trying. Some people will respond. And then we want to encourage people who feel functionally healthy that can provide support, hang out and give support and get curious and brainstorm. There is so much learning that can happen and grow together. So Michelle has been with me, Jessica and Vince have been with me in person. But I think Jessica and Vince, when we were in Peru together doing our retreat there, somehow, I don't know what happened, but there was more introspective time, like we were more time apart, separated. I feel that with Michelle, we were like more together, like more time together. Oh, because also yeah, I pick her up at the airport. I don't know. Yes, and Vince, I also picked you up. I don't know, but I felt that in the lab, like we were together all the time. I think because Yogini was not around, maybe, right? So it was all the time just me. I think that's what happened. There was no other guide. So it was me. And I was thinking the other day, what program exists out there that you spend 24/7? No, we didn't sleep together. That you spend like so many hours with a doctor, like sharing information and hey, I'm seeing this, how about that, and how about this? It's like it's an intensive, and the way we do it, just relaxing, right, Michelle? Like having tea, and we were doing art and we were taking walks. And then I would stop Michelle and I would say, Michelle, am I like overwhelming you with all the things that we're talking about? Let me know if I'm being too much. And Michelle is like, yeah, I'll practice my boundaries. I'll tell you to shut up. And I'm like telling Michelle and everyone else all these things. And I'm asking, right, and getting to so much fun to be live, right? It's different. Thank you, Michelle. And we're doing it again in August, and it's open, the season is open until October 31st. Okay. Brianna or the super couple there, the power couple, who's next?
I'm Jess. I've taken Yadira's experiential classes all the way through. I also traveled to Peru to take a part of her retreat that was out there before it came to Colorado. I think I was the second person that went. It was a journey. It was a journey. My husband went with me. We found a lot of healing together, but also very separately too. Um, like trying to think of, do you have anything to add? Vince? I'm like lost in my thoughts here.
Um, well, as I can say is going through the retreat process has helped her tremendously as far as that goes, like with her FND symptoms, the things that it was able to unlock for her and able for her to be able to figure out was quite miraculous, really. I mean, her symptoms today versus when we left are probably 90% better or more. It was quite the transformation from being able to, barely comprehend anything anymore, for brain fog, major movements all the time, constant seizures. I mean, the list went on and on and on, the stuff that she was dealing with. And even right after the retreat and through the retreat, you could just see how fast and how much it was changing for her, which was really amazing. Obviously, it's not a cure-all. She still has to do her own work, and she still has to learn and figure out how to live in this world with her situation, her sickness. And but it helped give her a lot of tools and really made it leaps and bounds ahead of where she was previously. And she also, like the other gentleman, I think it was Brent, she was very much nervous about going the route of psychedelics and things like that. And somehow I was able to talk her into trying it because we'd tried so many other things that hadn't really worked. And it's really, really amazing. It's led me to look more and more into psychedelics and how they can help people and stuff like that. So it helped me. Even I have ADHD and stuff like that, and my symptoms from ADHD, I'm like night and day. It's been insane for me too. So yeah, it's quite powerful medicine if you're willing to also put in the work on yourself, not just expect that the medicine's going to do everything for you. So that would be the biggest caveat, is you do actually have to do stuff, you know, to help yourself too.
Yes, Vince, that's so true. It's not a magic cure. So let's see, the way psychedelic natural substances work is that they expand your conscious awareness, your consciousness, so you can see the causes and you can see the solutions a little bit better. But it's what's being said, then you have to do that work. Okay, these are the causes, I'm going to remove them. These are the solutions, I'm going to go there, right? That work, you still have to do it. Now, there is a little bit of a innate power of healing power of these substances. Like they remove some of the symptoms, right? A little bit of the energy, right? It's kind of removed. It's reshaped. It's renewed. So I think it's a combination of those innate healing capacity, and then you have to continue doing it by yourself. Brent, maybe after Brianna speaks a little bit, if you want, I'm very curious to know about, you say, well, I was going to go to ReActive, but I had to pay out of pocket. My programs, people also have to pay out of pockets, but I want to make it very, very affordable. So maybe if you can throw in there or out there some numbers and some comparison, we could kind of, between all of us, brainstorm together and know, okay, what is fair, what is affordable, what is right? But we will not be ripping off anyone here. Okay. And then, oh, Brent, then I think I heard you said two different things, and you can later correct me if you're wrong. And you first, I think I heard you say, I have no interest experimenting with those substances, but then later you said, but I have no problem if those are a good option. So, right, look, the conversation is still on the table, and I'm so happy that you, Brent, are bringing both perspectives. I don't know. I have no interest. I don't know much, but I have no problem considering them if it's a good option. This is so reasonable.
It was more like if other people find it to be a useful option, I'm not gonna judge them.
Oh, I see.
And that if it works for them, then great. But I do it's more like comfort level.
Yes, because it's work. It's work, it's hard, yeah, like for example, I had this experience this morning. I woke up with like stomach pain and bloated and burping and farting. And I'm like, okay, oh my God, like what's happening? And then because I use so much natural psychedelic substances, like almost every week, my consciousness is already so expanded. So there I am, like suffering, and my mind is like, yeah, you ate those donuts last night, and then you ate, and then you got home, and then you ate rice and beans, and then you went straight to bed. It's like, suck it up. And I was feeling so guilty, and I'm like, what am I doing to my health? Like, right? So that kind of pain, physical pain and psychological pain, the natural substances show you. Why? Because pain makes us change. I will not be eating donuts anymore, I promise. And now I'm not going to bed, right? So No pain, no gain. So it's usually a little bit uncomfortable for sure. Maybe later, Jess and Vince and Michelle, all of us can talk about a possibility of doing something together in August. Like, how would that look like? Because I hear that August could be a hot month. But Brianna, I want to know about you. I haven't seen you in a few weeks.
So I'm Brianna. I'm from Wisconsin, in the USA, and I have been, I guess I would say it, working with Yadira through the.
Experiential education.
Yes, thank you. My brain was just remembering the abbreviations.
Yeah, I have to find
That's
maybe
on
an
our
name.
chat. But I've been doing that for quite a few years now, but I had a setback, which can happen to anybody. And so now I'm kind of redoing a few of the levels. But I've been debating on going to one of these trips because I remember very clearly the difference in Jess when she came back from her trip on our videos chats, and it's stuck in my head still that might be what I need to get back on track. But it's also stressful and scary because I'm comfortable in my environment, and I know those when I'm stressed or in a different environment, it triggers symptoms. So then my brain goes there. But I know that someday it'll just be right, and that'll be what I should do. But who knows if it's August or sometime later, maybe in the fall when it's not so hot. But that's
Yeah.
me.
Thank you, Brianna. Well, I'm wearing long sleeve. Like here, the weather is so nice. It's so fresh. We get hail sometimes, so even like we like ice, snow. I'm like, what is happening? It's July. This is Colorado. This is crazy. I'm in the right place. So it's the weather is nice. I was talking to someone the other day and they were like, people have to get out of their comfort zone to heal faster and better and more deeply. And I believe that. I believe that. I see it in myself and I see it in people when they go to a different environment. The brain is like a natural shock. Right? Everything is so different. The brain is like, what? How do I find my new path? And then when you do it for like, I don't know, 5, 7, 10, 15 days or more with the help of the medicines or the reshaping in habits, the breaking down expectations. Expectations is a mechanism. Breaking down anticipations. You don't know what's going to happen. Your brain is like a blank page. So changing the environment, it's important. Changing the diet, changing the practices, changing the routine. So many things good about getting out of the house. And I was talking about this with Michelle. I think it was you the other day. How the environment, subconscious memory, linked to other pathways, mechanisms that when you go to the home, your brain recognizes where we are, and then it kind of starts reproducing certain experiences and energetic states and symptomatic states. And we all know this. Even when we go on vacation and come back, it's like, okay, so Jess and Michelle, there is a possibility that August we could be together, like August 15th to the 30th, or were you thinking about before the 15th? And Anything around the dates or no? Because if we want to put something together, like it could be a good opportunity to just brainstorm some dates and activities. We could go there. Or Brent, if you want to talk a little bit about pricing, what would you consider affordable for, let's say, a week? I think ReActive, they offer 1 week treatments. So
the thing was, I did go to ReActive.
Oh,
we paid thousands for that.
How much is it? More or less, ballpark.
Well, not thousands for the thing directly. There was, I mean, I don't remember the whole thing. There was also the hotels and stuff. That was it. That added up. So.
Okay. So when you said thousands, it's maybe at least two thousands for like hotel, flight tickets, and the price of the program.
Yeah, it probably added up to like. I want to say that the program for the time I went there and then continuing telehealth stuff afterward, that added up to like 3,000, and then the additional expenses like the flight, hotels, and all that other stuff added like 1,000 or 2,000. So
wow.
Back then, so yeah, that ended up being a lot, and I have mixed feelings. Some things were really great, and some things were not so much. But I don't know. As far as your program, the main thing is I'm currently waiting for. I'm almost done with the application for social security stuff, so SSI. But I don't know exactly when that money would end up coming, with whether it would be in another month, 2 months. I don't have a definitive answer there. And I guess with as to the substances, I feel like for some things there is a difference between like, for me, there's a difference between pushing your comfort zone, like going slightly out of what you're comfortable with, and completely going out of your comfort zone with to a point which things feel uncomfortable to you. I guess that's how I feel with mind altering substances. Yeah, I don't know. I was more curious on knowing, like, in terms of lifestyle and just what works for different people, and where people have seen the greatest change. Like, one thing that's been really helpful for me is within the past year, I started seeing a somatic therapist, and she's a somatic therapist, and she's also a psychotherapist, and so she's been super helpful. And I do, to an extent, get what you mean by the expansion of consciousness, because, like, when this first happened, it felt like I was getting radar static, like static on a radio, and all this information that didn't make sense. And over time, my body and brain have been able to interpret what those actually mean. And I feel like some degree of this is just like hypersensitivity to things in your body with in a way that get in the way of your daily life. And so there's been a little bit of getting an understanding of that.
Yeah. Let's see. Tanya, I'll give you the words right away. So Brent and everyone on YouTube, and so I work with many substances, and some of them are not. You don't go to intense or deep places, like for example with the coca leaves, we do prayers and rituals, and we use super drink. Cambo frog, yes, can talk about it. It's a very deep cleansing. Ayahuasca is a powerful substance. This takes you deep, but it depends on dosing. Actually, they all depend on dosing, like all medicines. Washuma, it's not as intensely powerful as ayahuasca. Is something that it's a peregrination a medicine that you take, and you go on a walking journey through the mountains, praying and connecting to the healing forces of the universe, so you don't lose consciousness in the material realm. You expand your consciousness and you navigate the material realm. It's called the medicine of the jaguar. It works on presence, on attention, on physical strength, concentration. The sacred mushrooms also depends on dosing. And one of the questions that I have is, well, if we take microdosing, you're not supposed to feel much. You just notice the long-term effect and the daily effect. But mushroom microdosing, and Jess and Vince, if they want to comment on that too, is not powerful cannabis. Cannabis is something that has been understudied and is a medicine that doctors can prescribe. Is available recreational in many places, but medically in many places. So this is something that I have and I provide, and all the medicines, we studied them with a setting and neuroscience and experiential education methodology. Cocoa or cacao is also something that works on mind, body, spirituality, and emotions as well. This is not even considered a psychedelic, but it's something that has benefits for the four bodies. These I don't work with because this is in danger of extinction. This is the medicine, the mescaline medicine from the Mexican desert. So that somatic experiencing is a modality that I teach in the experiential education classes, many somatic activities, and the theory of somatic experiencing also. I did somatic experiencing training, and I am about to get the somatic experiencing practitioner certification by Somatic Experiencing International. I just haven't done, you have to do like 14 hours of practices, but I'm like, okay, I'm a neurologist. Like I already learned all the theory, and I like, do I need this? So I haven't completed it, but somatic experiencing is a wonderful modality, and everyone should experiment or get in their tool bag a few tools. Look, Jess is showing us how good attention to the soma is, to the physical body. It has to be paid attention to. And then spirituality, Brent. I think I'm one of the very few doctors. How many doctors cover spirituality? Mediumship, right? Reiki, right? Just know that I support her on this. And spirituality and religion, looking into religious traumas, looking into how do we reconnect to spirituality through nature, because it's part of our networks. So this kind of, as you said, being sensitive. I investigate with people and we talk openly about this. Could you have one of those special skills? that you perceive more than others? How do you develop those skills and so on? So our doors are open, open for you whenever you want. Yes, Michelle, do you? Oh, Tanya, you had your hand up. Go right ahead.
Hi, thanks. I just wanted to, when Brent was talking, I felt like a little puppy dog. Like, I think it's a bit of excitement because I was like, yes, I know that. I know that. I know that. The static, you articulated that so beautifully. I don't think I've ever been able to articulate that, Brent. The static feels exactly like that. Like there's all this information coming in and you don't know what to do with it. And the interesting part, like, because I have my own cultural biases when it comes to psychedelics as well, and it's embedded in like religious teaching, conditioning, So I'm in Australia, hardly anything is legal here. So that's completely out of my scope and out of my area. But what someone said earlier, it shifts the energy, and I'm just intrigued because I'm going, okay, the static shifting energy, so there's power in that. How do we make that work then?
Exactly. Exactly. Spiritual energy is one of the most powerful energies that we can experience. Have you seen people doing ecstatic dance or going into trances? When people go into trance, exactly, it's powerful. So we have to understand if we are human beings that have those open perceptive skills where that energy can get in, we have to learn, we have to talk about, we have to regulate, we have to know how to navigate it. We have to know, Jess said this the other day, how to close the channel, right? Exactly. These are things that we talk about, and very few doctors are giving attention to all these important manifestations of spiritual energy. And sometimes it can just be mental energy that also needs to be understood, untangled, and channeled, being through speech, through yeah, but I forgot to say, thank you so much, Tanya. Thank you so much for adding that. And then I forgot to say, where is it? One of the most important things that Amanda and Michelle helped me see and implement, which is no substance here is mandatory. No substance here. People can come and they can simply like hang out with us and observe. There are certain ceremonies where, for example, an ayahuasca ceremony, I wouldn't allow someone who is not on the medicine, just because it can disrupt the energy. Yeah, like washuma, also high dose. There are certain substances, no, but for example, mushroom microdosing, cacao, others, the person can just be there and hang out with us. And if someone comes and is like, I am not going to do absolutely anything, we're just hang out with us in some moments. And when we're doing some stronger doses of these ancestral medicines, just let's find another activity for you and enjoy nature and the retreat space. When it comes to pricing, rent, and I'm always open for suggestions, I have been adding many options depending on what people tell me they can afford. From $150 a night, everything included, up to like, I think 25 or $20 per day per 24 hours is the cheapest option I have right now. So my programs, one of their characteristics is we're building something together. So it's not about making money. It's about just building and co-creating together and everyone benefiting from what we are creating by being together. So if someone is like, yeah, and actually the $20 per day, I said, well, that's the minimum I need to cover the food for the day, and a little bit to contribute to the workers' expenses because there are people on site that work and I have to pay them. And I bought this land, I opened these programs uh, for us, like for all of us. And yeah, so always looking to hear feedbacks on these. And I'm thinking also about payment plans, right? Like how would that work? And more always happening. Okay, let's take 4 more minutes. Anything else? Anything else that you wanna, Vince, go right ahead.
I actually just wanted to say something towards like what Tanya was talking about and Brent about the feeling of all this stuff coming at you and the static and stuff. I saw a lot of that in Jess before, we went and did the treatment. I think one of the big things that people don't really realize or expect is some of the patterns changes in your thoughts and the clarity that you get. And I think a lot of what she experienced was that slowing down, her mind being able to really focus in on a single, or, at least not all of this stuff coming at her at once. So I think that's one of the big things that's helped with her too, is it really, with a lot of this stuff, it really just gives your mind a new path to think about rather than the same path, the same rut you've been stuck in, the same information that's going through your brain, things that are stressing you out. It really opens up your mind to be able to really see other pathways and other ways of thinking things, and really helps clarify a lot of that stuff inside of you. And then the one thing I kept telling her a lot before we went and did this, because she was very nervous about going and the medicine and all of that stuff, is, I just kept telling her, look, you're going to have to fight like your life depends on it. If you want to have a life again, you're going to have to fight, and you're going to have to be uncomfortable. And sometimes it's going to suck and sometimes it's going to be awesome, but you literally have to fight like your life depends on it, because it does. And if you're not willing to get out of your comfort zone, you're probably going to stay stuck in the same rut over and over and over again. Sometimes you got to really swing for the fence and try and do something way out of your comfort zone to really get better. And we tried all kinds of different things before we went to Peru that did nothing. And we spent thousands and thousands of dollars on anything we could find to try. I mean, it was like crazy. So I know it's scary, and I'm not saying it's for everybody to go and do. If it's not what you're into doing, that's totally fine. But, just anything you can do to fight like your life depends on it, because it does. If you want to have a life again, you're going to have to do some hard things. So that was all.
Thank you, Vince. Yeah, you're right. Brent, I'm so happy that you joined because you have brought up all these important questions and perspective and contrast. I want you to feel so very welcome to our community. Today, the conversation was more focused in our gathering in August. We're going to have another conversation tomorrow, which is more going to be support and learning little skills and sharing a little bit of experiential education. So be very welcome to come tomorrow, and always count with us. Yeah, if anyone wants to share in the chat your information for Brent, or if you're whatever, just feel free to exchange. I'm going to open. We still have another couple minutes. Michelle, is there anything else that you would like to say about our event? I'm so excited. We're going to do a little bit of tourism too, right, Michelle? We want to get to know at least a couple of attractions from Woodland Park and Florissant. And what else, Michelle, do you want to say? We're going to be doing arts.
Yeah, I mean, just whatever. I feel like it's really important for someone like Brent too to know that, I mean, we worked with you, like Tanya and myself were in the same group, and we worked with you remotely the whole time. Like you still have so much to offer. It's not just about the medicines, and it's not mostly about the medicines, really. I don't know if that sounds right, but there's just so much to be had just from the experiential education, I feel like. And so I feel like that's just a really important point to make. So,
For sure.
but being in person is just so different. It's such a hugely different experience. And so, yeah, it's, I don't know. I don't have a lot to add. I'm just really excited to come back, and I didn't want to leave. So it's super fun to be there. So yeah, I'm hoping that other people come, or it's just Yadira and I get it all to myself. But it would be fun to have other people there.
Yeah. Yeah. If it was something like, how long is the program?
It's kind of like however you want it to be. Oh, you mean experiential education or in person?
The retreat.
Yeah, it's whatever you want, really. You can come whenever you want, stay as long as you want, as long as, you kind of figure it out.
So there's not a specific date when people would all be coming together, or?
Well, this specific art retreat, I'm going from August 15th to the 30th. And it was, Yadira and I talked about this while I was there, and I kind of decided I really wanted to do this. And so that's when I'll be there, and that's when we'll be doing this specific thing. But I think art's going to be part of it all the time, because we were doing stuff when I was there for the week too. So yeah.
Yeah, $20 a day that sounds super doable. Yeah.
Yeah, make sure you read the checkout options. Make sure you read the fine print.
Yeah.
For $20 a day, you have to collaborate. So we have to come up, right, Michelle? You have to, like, we it's more of a collaborative option where we do kind of work together, this and that. So in the website there are all the tiers, and each one of them what each one of them entail. So, but yes, there is one option that is
even $50 a day wouldn't be bad at all.
Exactly. You can, for example, when Michelle was here, there was one woman, and she is like, hey, I'm gonna pay the 150 because I don't wanna be bothered. I don't want anyone to tell me what I have to do. I don't wanna collaborate. I don't wanna talk. I wanna do my own thing. I wanna be treated like, right? So she paid the full experience, and she did whatever she wanted. The other tiers involve a little bit of collaboration and work together and so on. But there are many options. And it's what Michelle said. We have a lot of online programs, and a lot of new programs are starting the month of August. I don't have it here. Oh, I was creating the flyer, the topic specific. Oh, I don't know where I put it.
And I know Brianna was talking about the weather, and I don't know if it cools off a lot at night. It's not like I don't like the heat at all. It's very hot where I live, and it's very tough to be in that heat all day, but
I know.
Dry.
I've been to Colorado before. It can get, especially in like especially near the canyon areas, it can get like super cold at night. Yeah.
It was very comfortable. I just thought I would add that.
I'm sure in the summer it's actually really refreshing. So.
Yes, I'm surprised as to how cool, refreshing it is. Oh, here, Brent, we have all these topics that are starting little by little. They will be starting over the next few months. These are topic specific programs. I have the one that is more quickly starting is the Women and FND, but there are all these other ones that will be announced slowly over the next few weeks. And yes, as you can see here, I teach a little bit about the theory and the practice behind cognitive behavioral therapy, emotionally focused therapy, somatic experiencing, hypnosis, and a few other things. Anyways, okay. Brianna, hopefully I will be able to join tomorrow as well. Yes, Brianna, come. I have to go now. Thank you. Bye, Brianna. Maybe see you tomorrow. Stay in touch.
Bye.
Yeah, anything else? I also have to kind of start packing and leaving. The library closes in 5 minutes. Anything else? Okay. Thank you so very much, Tanya, Jess, and Beans. Brent, to feel very welcome. It has been a pleasure to have your perspective here.
Yeah, you've been super friendly, and I'll try to tune into as much as I can and keep an open mind. Yeah.
Yes, a pleasure to have your perspective. You have added a lot. Thank you, Michelle, also for collaborating. And I'm so excited about August. Okay, I'll see you again next time. Make sure to stay healthy, listen to your body, do all the right things. Bye bye. See you soon. Bye.